Can this border closure force food security on Nigeria? Or would Nigerians and our neighbors continue to suffer its lasting effects? What becomes of the nation's relations with its West African neighbors? And at what point would Nigeria have breached the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement it recently signed on to? Opinions may vary, but the effects have been painfully felt by the people. Ajoke Hulotse, Gist Nigeria.
Ajoke has raised some interesting questions there. To give us a clearer perspective, Gist Nigeria's Abayomi Adisa sat down with Wilson Erumebor, an economist. Here is what he had to say.
What is your opinion on the process leading to the shutting of the land borders?
So I think the process could have been more engaging. The process could have, many of the stakeholders could have been more engaged and involved in deciding the best way to approach this so that it doesn't look like we are shutting out all the other countries that are also engaging in legitimate exports to Nigeria.
Interesting, but I'm tempted to ask. Nigeria just recently signed the Continental African Free Trade Area Agreement. Do you see a contradiction that we just shut our borders when we signed on an agreement to have a free trade zone?
Yes, it involves other countries, and it also sends that signal that we may not be ready for such kind of deal. But again, signing the deal does not necessarily mean we also have to allow for the importation of goods that are prohibited, or maybe security concerns, weapons that are being imported into the country. So there's a two-way side to look at it. The interest of Nigeria has to be put at the front first, before all of these.
Okay, looking at the border closure now, what do you think is the overall effect on the Nigerian economy?
In policies like this, there will be, those that would benefit, and then there will be the cost as well. But overall, is the scary impact on inflation, because as you know, inflation is a disease, like we would say, a disease of the poor man. It affects the poor and even the low-income earners more than other category of income earners. And just recently, we've seen how price of rice has, increased significantly. And you would agree with me that the poor, particularly the low-income earners, spend more of their income on food items. And rice, of course, is a major staple commodity within Nigeria. So there's a big impact on inflation. There are so many pressure points of inflation. If you look at Nigeria as it is today, in December, there's a festive season coming up. Demand would be high. Prices are likely to go up. In 2020, there's so many taxes coming on board, whether it's the increase in VAT, the communication tax, the 5% online tax, which means that the outlook for inflation is not really good. So the border closure is one of those things that we would likely see the impact on food prices.
Many thanks, Wilson Erumebor. Now, one of the